I'm Kristi. That's Sobi.
Yep. The guesting artist.
Yes. Today you're gonna get a bunch of different inks in your little take-out containers, I guess that's what you call it. And I'm hoping that I didn't give you two of the same color family. Well,
I came here
do you?
just to let y'all know because I had too much ink and I was hoping you could help me figure out some more uses for it.
Yeah.
And then you giving me
You
yours.
already know.
Oh, this guy.
You're all different. Yes. Okay. Good. Good.
Nice.
I do have a duplicate. You can use something you like. If you want to keep two to have more, feel free to do that as well.
Red? I don't think I have that one.
Monaco red.
I can trade for that. Do you have a honey yellow?
No.
No, go fish.
There you go. Go
That
team.
worked out.
Yeah.
Go team. Okay. Cool.
Beautiful.
So we should have a good array of inks now. Everyone's gonna be we're gonna be excited to look at these colors. But before we do, I want to go back to our brainstorm. I want to get our brains thinking again. Teacher and me. Sorry. Let's go over what we know again. We know that there's what? What do we know about ink again?
Viscosity.
Viscosity.
That was a great one.
Yes. 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 Can be used in fountain just fountain pens. You could use it to paint, what we're going to do today. You can use it to do all different sorts of things. You can use dip pens, you can use paintbrush, you can use a brush pen, which we'll get to later too.
My favorites.
And another important thing to know is paper matters. I'm sure
Yes.
all of you know paper matters. When it comes to painting though, have any of you ever painted with ink? Yes?
Yeah,
Yes,
a little bit.
a little bit,
Actually,
a little dabble.
Davenport came out with a line a couple years
Yeah.
ago and taught some classes like that.
Okay. How was our experiences painting with ink in comparison to writing with it?
I'm much better at writing.
Much better at writing? Okay.
But you'll be surprised how like it translates from writing
We'll
to
see.
just painting.
We're gonna change that today.
Yeah.
We're gonna change everything today.
It's
So
a lot like watercolor.
a lot like watercolor.
Exactly, yeah.
That is really what it is. You're going to find. We're gonna talk about how to take a certain percentage of ink to a certain percentage of water, mix that in there. How to use a brush pen in comparison to just using ink and just using water. We'll go through all of that. But for starters, I'm sorry for you guys to have to make you turn around, but we're gonna start with a little piece of paper. We're going to swatch some of these inks. We're gonna see how they react with a certain amount of water. We're gonna make our little own little swatches.
Yep.
And you're gonna combine them. And then from there, we'll go through a whole bunch of different things. So we will talk about how to do line work. We'll do a little painting. Pick one color out of your selection. And we're gonna start with that. So what I'll do is I'll ask that you guys, once you choose that one, I want you to also have your water nearby. Okay? We're gonna start with whatever ink that is. I want you to dip your paintbrush into that ink. And I want you to just get a little square, make a little square swatch with just the ink.
Just the ink.
Just the ink. And see what that color is and kind of get an idea of what it will look like when you paint with more ink on top, what it would look like with layering, get a visual. This paper that you guys are going to be using throughout the whole class today is actually watercolor paper.
How many pounds is it? You know?
That's a good question. I have to double check the paper I use.
No worries, no worries. I do like it though.
But that's a good point when it comes to. I used to just go and draw on printer paper and then sketchbook paper. Back in the day, I know.
I mean, that's crazy. That's how so many people started.
Exactly.
Though.
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
accessible.
Like coming from an artist that had no idea of like papers and material-wise, it does make a difference. So like starting to use like the ink paintings on watercolor paper, it's been game changing. Even like stone paper, I didn't know what that was.
What is that? Is it actually made of stones? I've seen it in stores.
I've seen it in stores, and I don't know if it's like made out of stones or they use stones in the
I
process.
saw
but
that in Walmart.
yeah, but
Walmart,
it's
wow.
Walmart. Wow, they're stepping their game up.
I don't think it's good for fountain pens.
It's not, but for the inking, in terms of like using a brush pen or something like that, it does wonders.
Once you do all of your swatches, I do ask that you find your favorite color and then put that aside. The favorite color that you like, or if you have two, put the two aside, but no more than two.
No more than two.
Oh.
I'm loving the swatches.
I do like the swatches. It's all. I actually never even swatched the inks that are on the table, so I don't know what half of them look like.
That's part of the mystery.
It's not really a painting with ink class, it's a finding your new favorite.
Find your face,
Yeah.
yes.
The painting comes after when you guys go home.
Yes. Your pen, this is a good way to test it. Take a paintbrush, use the brush, let it dry,
Mhm.
and then you'll get a better perspective of how that ink will look.
And honestly, one thing I do sometimes, if you don't want to use a paintbrush but you're trying to test, I just use like Q-tips.
Yeah.
You have 2 sides as well.
Q-tips are your friend.
I feel like I got a lot of similar colors.
I'm sorry?
Did
Oh,
you
you
teach
want me to
elementary
pretend?
school?
I taught first grade through 8th grade.
No, you keep doing what you're doing. I just wanted to make sure you knew I was behind you.
Oh, what was that?
Sadly, I taught first grade through 8th grade.
My stepdaughter.
Trying to do anything with the swatches, we're just swatching right now.
Go pick out your favorite.
Sorry, picking out our favorite.
Picking out the favorite. Oh, I
Yes, you're
like
picking out your
that.
favorite.
What's your confidence level?
A 2.
I'm a 2.
You're a 2?
I'm a 2.
Okay, alright.
I'm a 9.
4, we're feeling a 4.
We're gonna.
How are we feeling?
Look at 8.
An
I'll
8?
do an 8. I'm an
You
8.
feeling an 8?
8.
Okay.
Alright,
I
good.
realized I had 2.
How are you feeling? Yeah? Yeah. And what about you? How are you feeling? Oh,
Yes, already.
a 1?
No worries.
We'll see how you feel at the end of the class.
Again, for the 8s, forgive me if you already know this, but we're just gonna go over like really basic line work. I feel like that's the premise of any form of inking, whether you're painting, fountain penning. One thing I want to remind you guys is when you hold your brush, we can paint or draw in many ways. You might be familiar with just using your wrists, using your shoulder, and then like your entirety of the arm. This gets you a little bit more confident. So it's only 2 hours. I'm not expecting like you guys to do anything crazy, but you'll be so shocked at how much your line confidence goes. So for those of you that may not draw too much with ink, one thing that I used to do, and I'm not saying it's wrong, it'd be just like the scratchy little ink marks. Don't do that. At least for now. You're totally allowed to do that, but my goal for you guys is to just get a little bit more gestural drawings. Go like that, just like quick strokes, whether you're using your wrist or your shoulder. And just see how much more different it would be than just kind of doing your little scratches. That will be so much more beneficial when we start doing our little group painting. Instead of just having like a little bit messy lines, you're gonna have like gestural lines, and then you're gonna see how your ink reacts to it. Whether it's like the shimmer, and when we get down to the water, adding water to the brush pens, that's gonna be awesome. Ow! But like even with this kind of like brushes, especially when we get to the brush pens, just the amount of pressure too. You know, going from your thicker lines to thin. Oh my god, this is so therapeutic. And yeah, your speed also dictates. So like everyone's like, "Whoa, what's line confidence? Line confidence." Sometimes it's just going like that, you know, quick. And for me, this is how some of my different styles came about, and they were like happy accidents where I was just drawing one day and I wanted to focus and make a nice solid line, but then I just went. Different line variations is a
How
different
it
thing.
feels once you're really focusing on trying to make a thicker line, a thinner line.
And I meant, sorry,
No,
not to
go
cut you
ahead,
out. And I
go
mentioned earlier, like the whole breathing thing. Try breathing out once you do your line stroke. It does help you a little bit more. It doesn't have to be like a full yoga session, but it really is a difference. Like, I could tell you which line I wasn't breathing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and when I actually let the breath out. I had a teacher that kind of made inking and line work a little bit more intentional, and it really does change the vibe of your drawings.
Somebody just sent me a picture of me.
What?
Did you post something?
No. Oh. This.
Oh, I was like,
Is that
where,
live?
where is she?
Who sent you a picture?
There's people always watching in Pendleton the second you walk in.
Yeah, my favorite color all over the table.
Oh, I just found if they want to.
Was it diamond?
No, there's vintage purple.
Oh wait, here, I've got one. You can do a refill out of mine too.
Oh my gosh, thank you.
You're
I
so
think I have
welcome.
enough for the class.
Here, take some.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
That's part of inking and art, the camaraderie.
Over the same, you can go in the same direction. You can go parallel. You can go perpendicular. However you feel. See how that ink, the second ink, interacts with the first ink. Once you start layering, you'll find that there's a difference. And I want you guys to see that difference, how the ink with layers reacts with the paper as well.
And for those of you that don't know, if you do your line work in a different direction, that's essentially cross-hatching. So if you want to get a little bit practice.
Have fun with it. I want you to. I really want you to have fun. I want you to see the
Oh,
difference.
yeah, there you go. That's awesome.
Cross hatching, good. I like it.
Incredible.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
like that.
Color that's gone.
R.I.P.
Alright.
Yeah, exactly.
You're painting the river Styx and your ink is going down.
Yes.
Once you have that full paper covered, what I want you to do is give it a few seconds to dry. While it's
Mhm.
drying, I want you to wash that paintbrush. Once you're done, what we're going to do is take some water and see how the water by itself will react with the ink afterwards.
I'm already loving everyone's like individual take on
Yeah.
line work. This is
Take a
awesome.
look at to your left, take a look to your right, see what everyone else is doing, see their interpretation of line work, see how water will be our next step. So I want you to put those aside, have that paintbrush cleaned,
Mhm.
wait for it to dry a little bit. And I want to hear, like, what do we feel after, how do we feel after that? And I wouldn't say, how does it change your confidence, but how do you feel after just taking the time to, like, really think about your lines and work on your breathing while you're making those lines? What do we feel?
Relax.
Relax,
There you
good,
go.
that's what we want. Creative, good. Get the juices flowing. Good. Anything else? No?
Inspired.
I hope.
Kristi, I feel so inspired.
I hope. So, I want you to then put those two colors away. We're gonna pick a different color. I want you to pick one at random this time. If it's the same one, put it back. Pick a different one. If you think,
Your little food talks to me. It's my name.
if you think your little line work is dry enough, feel free to please put your paintbrush into some water. And now do water lines. See how the paint will now react with just water after you put the ink down. See how it changes. See what reactions there are on the paper. Doing something. So Sobi will walk you through how to paint some flowers.
And I think one thing with ink versus watercolor is watercolor can be so daunting sometimes, just like using it straight out the gate. I think with inking, like you could put a solid layer of ink, put some water over it, and you have as much control
Yeah, I'm
in
good.
terms of like how much
Yeah.
ink to spread.
Mm-hmm. That is what I
The
like.
opacity.
My jam.
Hmm?
That's my jam.
It is, it's nice.
The third color, we're not doing anything with it yet.
Oh, okay.
We're just using water for right now, seeing how
Oh,
that
got
water
it.
reacts with the
Fully-
dried ink.
Yeah,
Like when I started using water with ink now, when I attempt watercolor, I feel a little bit more. The flower approach that I'm doing is going to be like a nice little orchid, doing the petals. And see how I'm filling in there again. There's no proper way to do this with ink. It's however you want. I would suggest the reason we started doing the line work in the beginning was that you could just build the foundation of your flower. I'm running out of ink, sorry. Just free flow. And then you can, add some more detail. And just like Kristi said, let's say you draw these petals with an empty line. I would suggest putting just a little bit of ink and then getting your water to spread it out throughout the petals. Use your mystery color as the outline, and then I would suggest maybe get a secondary color if you wanted to fill. Get the outline of your flower first, however you want to draw a flower. If you have a favorite flower, if you want to look up a flower, you can use references, you can use your mind, totally cool. Make the outline of your flower, and then either use the same color. Don't forget the water. So I would say use dark, thick lines. I'm loving what I'm seeing for the petals. And then either fill them in with the same color and a little bit of water, just to see that I've used the same color in different ways, or I found a complementary color that goes within the ink. Again, there's no right way to draw a flower, it's just whatever your interpretation is. I was holding my breath right now. And you're not bound to one flower, you can do a whole bouquet, you can...
So you start with just a little bit at the bottom. You wait for it to dry. You add some colors. If you're impatient like I was for some of them.
I did a little tutorial on YouTube and I was like,
Yeah. I have to get our rep sent them in for everybody, so I'm excited. Say thank you, Scott, once I get the stuff out.
everyone, again, if you don't say thank you, Scott, you can't leave. And that is a threat.
That,
Yeah, he's like, let it sit there.
It's
And
a
I
marker.
was using
Yeah.
pinky finger.
And then I'd be like, oh yeah, that's right.
And I'm like, don't at me like this. Like,
No, digital art was like my jam. It still is, but bounce.
Kristi, stop. You're biased.
That doesn't mean she's wrong.
Oh.
Listen,
That's what I always.
I
You're feeling,
love
like,
how you're
good.
mixing the colors right
Yeah,
now.
you guys are doing so well.
It reminds me of autumn.
Are you talking to me?
Yes.
To get to the next part that Kristi's going to show you, I would suggest doing flowers again, but with the style that we're about to show you.
Oh.
Because your flowers are going to come out even way more cooler, and I think the fact that you guys are already doing like these incredible pieces without the water, you guys should be super proud because wow. And again, try doing some of the like gestural line work that I showed. If you quick strokes, try making petals like that. You'll see how the ink reacts. Yep, awesome. I just saw what you did. Incredible flick.
Funny.
That's what I'm saying. It's like watercolor again, super daunting, but just there's something about drawing a line of ink and then throwing some water on it. It's life changing.
All those hundreds of samples from Goulet, I finally have use for.
There you go.
Well, some of the lighter ones that don't work in pens.
Right.
That was one of the other reasons I wanted to take.
The thing is with certain inks, with the water ratio of the ink, with the dye ratio of the oils, whatever it may be, sometimes depending on what nib size you use, it's very hard to use that ink. And you kind of are like, oh, it's a waste. I got it and I'm not using it. But now you have another outlet and you're now able to find a way to use that ink and make something beautiful with it.
Mm-hmm.
The really cool thing about what you guys are doing right now is you can easily turn this into a card. This could, when you're giving a card to somebody, you can just whip out some ink, make a little quick thing. And it's something different. It's unique. It's handmade. It has more of a meaning to it, not only
People
to you, but
love
to the
it
person.
when you make something for them.
For me, I don't buy cards. I make
Same.
handmade cards. I don't like buying them when I can make something, even though it might not be perfect in my perfectionist mind.
That's what I'm saying.
I still think it's worth a try.
How Mark wishes they could make cards like this. Like you guys, I'm serious about framing these. These are
Yes.
so nice.
Here.
Ooh, you did what I did.
I was making the table more colorful.
Yeah.
We need more color
Thank you
in
for
there.
having me,
Here, I'll
darling.
take the
Actually, at the end of the class, we're just gonna toss all the ink on the table. So I do that sometimes with just inking, like just creating random splotches and then getting like a black pen, like a Micron, or even some of your fountain pens, and just drawing over it.
Oh, I love what you did in the mid-center of each flower.
Right?
I love that.
Black.
Yes.
Offset it.
Or lighter flowers and kind of went over with the darker line. There's so much you can do with ink. And remember, just because you're making masterpieces right now, again, try the gestural thing. Try just doing quick strokes, using your arm, not just your wrist. Kind of use your shoulder, and see what kind of lines you make with that.
Specific? Or
Sure.
yes?
Yes.
Okay.
Become lighter, darker, really mess around with.
So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do a group project. Everyone has 20 seconds to add their own little fun little color of ink to the paper, and then we're gonna at the end have something beautiful that everybody made together.
20 seconds.
Can somebody count so I know?
Nope. Earlier you asked about how it's like drawing at the museum. We're just gonna stand behind you to emulate it. You know? You're at 12 seconds.
Oh my gosh. You wanted it to be over, didn't you?
And there are no rules. You can
Pass
build
it on.
you can build
Oh my
upon her.
gosh.
Yeah. 20 seconds start when your pen hits the paper.
Alrighty.
There you go. Go crazy with it. Let the ink flow. Let the water come out.
Oh, little dragonfly.
I'm a paint like this.
Yes.
But Say the wings were a little too high up to be a
Alright, pass it on.
butterfly.
Pass it on.
Oh, wow.
There you go. Everyone use your unique style. Is she writing you don't matter?
Damn. Tough class, but I don't know.
Oh wow.
Period.
Alright, pass it on.
Beautiful.
Get her to the right words, and they'll just
Ready? We're gonna practice drawing in a museum. Wow, what are you drawing? Nice. Just going for it.
We might go for another round depending on how far we get.
Oh, wow.
Oh, a bunny's butt.
All right,
That's what I
now.
see. It's not. Oh, that's what, you're not supposed to guess what people doing.
Nope, you gotta keep going. Anytime. Yeah.
Oh, the whole, okay.
Yeah. There you go. Fill it in. Look, see.
Actually, I don't know. What
Look
I
at that
thought it could have been a bunny's
Alright,
butt.
pass it on.
Do you see the
Pass it
butt?
on.
I see it now.
I like the 20-second limitation.
Right?
Well, because otherwise
you don't
I
overthink it.
So like the time limits really do help if you want to start warming up before you draw. Sometimes I do like a 10-second, 30-second, minute, and then if I'm feeling really crazy, 5-minute warm up. Whether it's going on Pinterest and just drawing what I see to get you warmed up. People forget that essentially drawing, making art is kind of like working out. You got to stretch a little bit before. You got to get your body ready. And I should listen to my own advice because half the time I just
Alright,
just
that's
pump
on.
it intro.
Tiny dragon.
Love it.
I was gonna say it looks like a bearded dragon.
It's like a tiny dragon to go with your dragon. To go with the dragonfly.
Use what we've taught you today.
Pass it on.
All right.
I bought all those inks
I
from
did
her
too.
all those years ago, and they still sitting real cute in my bathroom.
I still have the ones in the tube, like the.
I have those
I have
too,
those,
but I thought that was watercolor, not ink.
You might be right.
Yeah, I think so.
Cause I thought you refilled them with the
You can.
paint. Okay.
I was taking them on the plane, they kept leaking, so.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's what I was
That was one of the
asking.
craziest things for me because I completely forgot, and I was like trying to sketch on the airplane, and my brush pen just blew up all over the ink. I had like ink all over.
Yeah.
Pass it on.
Happened to me too.
Mhm.
In one of these things?
Well, the other one, the Pentel one that comes with the black ink already,
Oh,
and my
okay.
fountain pen too, just kind of
Fancy.
splattered everywhere. I was like, oh shoot.
Talking about level one.
I've read
I was trying to
that.
just practice
I'm
drawing
gonna
people
take
in the
pictures of
airplane.
it.
Believed it.
Never know. Note to self:
Girl,
if you
that's
want
not
to ink
gonna
in the
happen.
sky,
She was like,
use
"I'm
a
just- I'm
micron
just a
pen or
one."
something else.
No,
Don't
she's
use a
not.
brush pen.
You know, we gotta be humble. Nothing wrong with being humble.
All her skills just bled out the tank.
Alright, pass it on. We will go for
Ooh,
round two.
sorry.
Be prepared.
I'm
I
so
really
sorry.
love your line work. Like you are so capable of making thin lines. It's insane.
He said, I'm not overthinking.
Perfect.
Oh,
That's
go
insane.
for it. Go for it.
Nice.
Let's go. You doing
That's
it.
some highlighting.
I love it.
You going fast too. I love it.
Yes.
I've been watching him
All right,
from the
pass it
beginning of
on.
class, using his gesture real quick.
Alright, round two.
Somebody drew nice mountains here.
I really thought that was behind a bunny.
It is behind us. It's the back of a bunny.
Oh.
I knew I wasn't crazy.
I just.
Alright, pass it on.
I'm sorry. You know, I didn't see the vision at first.
Yeah, that's okay.
Now I see.
I'm legally blind.
Haven't heard that. It's
Hey,
so long.
hey! P.O.P.
Hold it down.
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
I got
Lord.
me effing up to here today. I'm just trying to be good. Somebody
Okay.
put an exclamation mark
I
on
did.
mine.
Alright, pass it on.
Because you do matter.
Oh gosh. I'm gonna give the bunny a crown.
Nice.
Oh, so cute.
That's community collaboration right there.
Oh, that's adorable.
It's on the record now. Anybody else want her chip down?
Oh, I know why. He needed
Continue the
whiskers.
legacy of the bunny.
Now dry as loyal subjects.
And
That's good, yep.
I love how you're using like the wide aspect of the brush
Yeah.
pen.
Love it.
oh, I have to keep going.
Yep.
Alright, pass it on.
She said I'm a pain and it's more.
Told you 20 seconds can be a lifetime in these kind of exercises. I led like a figure drawing instruction a couple weeks ago, and the final part was 20 minutes of drawing someone. It went from like 30 seconds, minute, 10 to 5, 10, 20, and 20 minutes actually felt like a lot of time.
20 minutes is like forever.
Yeah. I like had time to go upstairs, dance, and then come back down.
Okay.
Oh, yes, crown
Alright, pass it
highlights.
on.
Yes.
Beautiful. Feel free to just go all over too with it.
I love all the colors though. And the way they interact with each other.
Mm-hmm. So these kind of exercises also not only make you draw fast, but then also working within a community mural, like how are you going to fit your piece? Are you going to
Okay,
go
pass
against
it
the
on.
grain? Are you going to add something to it?
It's very abstract and I like it.
I love abstract. Maybe a little too much, but
I think we're better together than we are separate.
Yeah.
that was the whole purpose, to give you individual techniques and then come together.
Because I mean, they do things I would never do. You know, each person does something a little different. and they add
Alright,
on
that's
there.
not-
Exactly. But that's how you learn, you get inspired.
Alright, let me not hit your clip this time.
Wow.
Let me zoom in on that a little bit.
That's a good idea.
I'm about to pick on you again.
I'm just one.
That's so cool, just like using it, yeah. Then again, ink, so many things you can do with it.
Alright, pass it on.
You might see some artists that even like flick.
We're gonna
I mean,
fit.
don't try that here because you might get it on someone, but
These work.
It's gonna be
Yeah,
a greenish
exactly.
crown.
Okay.
You could
I
draw
like that.
these.
Or thank you.
We love that.
Dear.
In the kitchen, and then for days.
You can never go wrong with a pop of green.
Oh, this
Ooh.
is brilliant. So like, oh my god.
I love it.
Do you fill this up and then just like you just like a leave them?
Alright, what do we think?
It
Do
looks
we need
great.
more?
Yeah.
One more round?
One more
What do we
round.
think? One more round?
Sure.
Alright, this time.
10 seconds? Oh wow.
Charlie's like, yes.
Here you go, madam.
Thank you.
Pass it on, please.
Make those 10 seconds count, y'all.
I have no idea what you were doing.
It's fine.
You don't have to. You gotta do what you want to do.
I love it.
Pass it on.
Easy around, huh?
Okay.
There you go.
Oh, that's nice.
A little splatter.
Pass it on.
10 seconds past. Let it go.
Okay, alright, if I can do this. Oh.
Yeah, go crazy.
No, do what you want.
Supposed to be
Pass it on.
It is. You did it. Every time I do splatters, I splatter everything.
Well, it's splattering.
Yes. But I want it just to be. See,
Pass
so
it on.
yes, I know what's happening in mine. I'm just reminded.
Pass it on. Pass it on. And pass it on.
Your time's not up though, splat, splat.
1, 2, 3.
8.
7.
5.
Nice.
Nice. Okay.
Everybody Everybody say ink.